Awesome. That's awesome, man. Fight Club. You sold it for 2 minutes for 103. That's excellent. It's probably because it's a smaller amount, and small-time players that don't really depot a lot can afford 103 for a smaller amount, which is good. Now, we're going to pan over, and we're going to look for 70 of these. Okay, so these are about right. So, still, you see nobody's bidding on any of these. But if I was to put these on auction, it would be right about what this is. Okay? And this guy's selling it for 111, but he won't accept anything less than 111. See? But it's not being bid on. So why would I put those on auction? Especially when I can sell them immediately for the order. So what you're looking at is, okay, so here, this is the only place where anyone's bid on this. And what do they bid? They bid 100%. So they bid exactly what the value is of that. Now, that sucks because that's going to sit on auction now for 5 days. What if he doesn't want to wait 5 days? What if he needs that 15 ped now? That sucks, right? But then also, look at his buyout. No one's going to buy it out because that's way, way over what the markup is. So that's guaranteed to sit on the auction for 5 days. So he's not going to get that 15 peds. And what happens if the time of his auction runs out when there's no one really online? That person's going to get it for exactly what it's cost for. So he didn't really make anything. What he did was he lost his auction fee, which sucks. That's also why you don't put things on the auction for 100%. You never do that because that's happened many a times to me. I put it on auction. I think, well, you know, if I start off at the smallest amount, which is just the value of the item, someone will outbid someone if they only bid the minimum cost. So that's not true. That's happened many a times to me where, you know, I put it on there thinking, oh, I'll at least make 16 peds. Someone will bid over 100%. But it was during a time when there was no one logged on and only one person bid, and that person that bid the actual TT value is the one that got it. And then you lost your 51 peck that it cost you to put it on auction, which is silly. What ends up happening when people do this silly stuff like this, it ends up knocking down the markup price of the item. And this is a huge thing. That ruins the economy of the game, for one. That's just stupid. And at the same time, it will make the markup go below 100%. Have you ever looked at an item and gone, why does it have a markup of 88%? How does that happen? This is how that happens. Right here. Somebody put that shit on auction and they lost their 51 peck, so they're not actually selling it for 100%. They sold it for 99 point whatever percentage that is minus his auction fee. So that's shitty. You don't want to do that. But you know, penning all the way through, you don't. That's the only. Okay, so let's go back. Well, that's a blueprint. So you don't see anyone bidding on actual conductors. That means the conductors do not sell on the auction, not unless you're filling an order. Boom. See? So this is why I do this, and it's also a way for me to gain. You know, what if I only lost one ped during this whole cycle? Now I'm going to turn around and make that ped immediately back. And so sometimes it's a way to skill for free, per se. So we're going to go ahead and sell this for 105, or actually 104.76, right? Immediately make 22 pads off of it. Boom. Now we're back up to 29 peds again. This is the same amount that we had before, pretty much. So basically all that hunting and all that crafting we just did, we did it for free, per se, if you're not counting how much my time is worth. But okay, so that's, you know, that's how to fill an order on the auction and how to judge whether something's going to sell on the auction and kind of how to read the auction. Does anybody have any questions in regards to anything I just explained so I can go back through? Or if not, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started on this next hunting round. Listen to you, Banksy, you crack me up. You made very many profit off that dagger.
I mean, make super fucking profit off that girl.
Yes, you will. That's incredible, bro. I'm still excited for you. Seriously, that's freaking awesome, dude. Okay, so we're gonna leave this stuff in here because it's gonna be part of our next round. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take. Now we've already got uh, because we actually made peds on that one. Because you remember we started off with a total of 30 peds total with like I think it was only a ped of ammo. So technically we're 7 peds ahead right now. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that 7 peds and we're gonna spend it on saving us just a tiny bit of time doing this way. And we're going to fix our Z-Syncadus. And the scope lasts for quite a while. You can see it doesn't really need a whole lot of repair, but you know, that little bit might make a difference. You never know. And so this time, since we really didn't use up the Barbarella that much, we could probably do this cycle on the Barbarella again. Um, but for this particular round, what I want to do is I want to take and spend. So we got to keep in mind that that time technically we had 37 ped because we had 29 plus 8 in ammo. That's 37. So keep that in mind for the next round because it's going to be important. Okay, so since we already do have, since we're dealing with such a low amount, we won't do any repairs on the actual guns. We're only going to fix the scope and the amp. And then we're going to put that back on the Z12 since it's going to get us bigger. Actually, no. What we're going to do... Oh, someone got a HOF. I heard it. Since this one's more economical, we could take and put the amp on here. It would do the same damage as that one, and then this one would be a good backup. But yeah, we're gonna do this round with the Buchan, so I can show you because we've already done the majority of the last round with the Z12. So we're gonna put the amp and the scope on there. It's gonna make our stats overall more economical. For one, because especially without the amp and the scope on there, we're going to be getting the skill mod, which is going to make this 62.9%, whereas, oops, yeah, whenever you add this to the Buchan, it screws it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to detach because I want you to see in the beginning the Buchan is actually 0.1% efficiency worse than the Barbarella. But the less ammo burn is going to make it more economical. It's going to make up for that 0.1%. Okay, so as it stands right now, these weapons are pretty evenly eco-matched until we take and put the amp on there. Now see what happens when I put this one on there. It only goes up to 61.8%, right? So let's take this back off and put it on here. 62.9%. So by using this amp on the Buchan, it makes it more efficient than if we use the Z-Syncadus on this Z12. So that's why we're going to use this one this round. See if we can get more than just 7 peds ahead this time. So we're going to go ahead and slap that on there. Right? And so now we're dealing with a super eco weapon that pulls out the same as this base Z12. Now let's go get us some ammo and go at this full blast. We'll leave 98 pack on there. And actually, I'm going to spend that 98 pack so they can get completely down to 0. And we can say that we start off with 37. We used it all up, and then we'll see what we get after this Buchan run. Boom. All the peds are gone. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go on this run. So it should be a little bit faster than using it without the Z-Synchronous, which is good. And we're going to get more shots out of it, which will give us more defense skill and more combat skill all at the same time. And I believe that that's why we actually came ahead, because we're doing this eco. That's why we made 7 pets. You know, something else you can do to make it more interesting, because don't get me wrong, doing this all night would definitely make me sleepy, you know, especially because I've been doing it for 16 years. I mean, to a new player, doing what I'm doing right now would be super fun, because you get to hunt, craft, sell to the auction, maybe hit a global, do all that kind of stuff. But because it is going slow, it is boring to me. You know, it can put me to sleep if I'm doing this all night. You know, so I like to listen to music, look on my second screen, watch a movie, maybe train a pet. You know, pull your pet out. Let's train them. You know. Oops. Whoops. All right, so we made 1.88 pet on that one. That was good. Oh, so let's offer our services to a new player. So I offered up either free healing